What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Argue. I'm your host. It's just Antonio back at you live in studio. So happy to be with everybody back again. Know it's been a couple, we done missed a couple sessions, but hey, we back at it, back in this thing. If you're tuning in from Facebook or YouTube, hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Go ahead and drop that into the chat window for me. And let's go ahead and get straight to the business. Are you willing to share your man? So we got two subjects we're going to talk about today. One is, are you willing to share your man? Two, there's a basketball player who plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I just saw the post. I don't know how real or how true it is, but he had a baby with a young lady, and she put him on child support. I'm gonna give you the full context. I'm gonna get to my phone, but I'm just trying to give you a little bit of a snapshot of what's going on. But anyway, guy plays for the. I think his name is Edwards. Last name is Edwards. I can't remember his first name. But anyway, had a baby by a woman. She wouldn't put him on child support, and instead of him paying the monthly child support for the next 18 years, he just went. According to the article, he just cashed her out upfront, paid her upfront, everything. Um, what do you think? I guess my first thought was checkmate for him to on her. Like, yo, now what you gonna do? Um, but the other part of it was I immediately thought about the kid. Like, what is he gonna do? Is he not gonna see the kid? A lot of women were commenting saying, "Hey, that's just him doing that by him making that move, letting her know that he don't want to have nothing to do with her or the baby." I think that's something he gonna, of course, at some point he gonna come to regret. But I don't know what his mindset was. But we're gonna get into that because I think that's gonna be another good topic that we can definitely kind of go off into. But again, if you're just tuning in, hashtag I'm outside, let's argue. Go ahead and drop that in the chat window. And I'm gonna go ahead and play the video real quick.
I want it, I will voluntarily share. Cause we involuntarily share these men all the time. They cheat. My man probably cheating as we speak. I don't give a damn.
So could you share your man with somebody if he gave you everything you wanted?
I share these men for less because they gonna go cheat anyway.
They're gonna go cheat
So
anyway.
if I know for sure that he's going to give me everything I wanted, I will voluntarily share. Cause we involuntarily share these men all the time. They cheat. My man probably cheating as we speak. I don't give a damn. I'm working.
Literally. Like what I'm gonna do? Stop it?
Yeah, we don't stop. I've been cheated on. You've been cheated on. You've been cheated on.
So could you share your man with somebody?
Okay, so
So could you share your man with somebody?
I think their logic is flawed for sure. Because if you I guess if you're in agreement in the beginning, because I know there's relationships out there like that. I talked to a young man today. Told me he's in a polyamorous relationship, and you guys help me understand because I don't know understand what the difference is with all these different types of relationships. But he told me he's in a polyamorous relationship where he has two women. They both know about one another, but I don't. And he said he's had threesomes, but it's not like they're all three of them together all the time. And it's just that they know about one another, and everybody's okay. But under these circumstances, what under what circumstances would you be willing to share your man if you are of that mindset? Would you be willing? Would you be willing to share your man if you knew that you were going to be taken care of financially, without a doubt? You were going to get everything you wanted, when you wanted it, how you wanted it. Would you be okay with sharing your man? I think their logic is flawed, because I believe maybe if you're not really, if you're not really in it for the reasons, like maybe you just don't care, then I guess that's different. But I think that there's somebody out there for you that you wouldn't necessarily have to share your man with, and still be able to get the things that you want. So especially if y'all working together as a team. So what do you feel? Give me your thoughts on that. What do you think? Would you be willing, under what circumstances would you be willing to share your man? Is that something that you would be okay with? Um, So the other subject that we're talking about today is looks like it's basketball player. And then again, I don't know how true this article is. This is still remains to be seen. But according to the article, NBA star Anthony Edwards made a historic move by paying over $1 million in child support all at once, covering 18 years worth of payments. I guess that's like $5,000 a month. He decided to settle that all up front. He gave the woman who's expecting to have his child, or already had the kid, um, looks like over $1 million. He just gave her that up front to cover the next 18 years. So that means she can't ask for nothing. What is your take on that? So I guess the message is like, hey, you know, a lot of people are commenting saying, hey, he don't want to have nothing to do with her or the kid. I think it's a I know I definitely it's too bad that this kid is gonna suffer and not have a relationship, you know, with his father. And I'm not for sure if the child is male or female, but still, and here we are again, black fathers, this negative stereotype that we don't take care of our kids. But on the other hand, um, how is it if a man said he doesn't want to have a child and then a woman says, okay, this is what she wants to do, or maybe she has agreed, okay, that's fine, but they're adults, they sleep together anyway. He slips up and shoots up the club, and okay, she gets pregnant. um there's a couple of different stories that I'm hearing about this. One is, okay, let's just say we go with that one. He shoots up the club, she gets pregnant, um and so she decides to have a baby. Now he telling her this is not what he wants to do, but it's her body. So does he have the right to say, okay, hey, I don't want to be involved, I told you I didn't want any kids? If he, especially if he lets her know that up front. My take on that, okay, then you need to be more responsible. There should have been some protection involved if you knew that's not what you wanted to do. That's just my position. I'm not saying that's right or wrong either way, but if you know that you don't want to have a child, then you probably should have protected yourself. All right. The other piece of this is, then they said that he gave her, I think, at least one of the stories I'm hearing that came out, he gave her $100,000. She was supposed to go have an abortion. She didn't have any abortion, so she played him on $100,000, went down and filed child support, and that was the reason why he went on ahead and paid her the money that he would have been paying over the next 18 years, 21 years up front. One check, we're done. So what do you think? What's your position on that? Like, and if, because we know when that are women out here getting pregnant by ball players on purpose so they can get a bag, so they know they ain't got to work, they ain't got to do nothing. And then again, here we are having children, or children are being put out here that don't have fathers, you know, or they have fathers that are not in their lives. I mean, we're just creating another cycle of trauma and just bad things that's going to continue to go on, and that cycle can continue because this child can end up doing the exact same thing, or it could be a girl who's going to have issues, you know, growing up with men. So I don't know. I just think it's a bad precedent that we would be setting for doing stuff like this. uh, it's just bad, especially if women are out here deliberately, and we know this is happening. We're not going to sugarcoat it. Women are out here deliberately having uh, baby by ball players just so they know they don't have to work. There's a whole, somebody said they got a whole playbook for this. This is what they're doing. It's just a bad precedence to be setting on both the men and the women part. I still have to say that the men have to own some responsibility in this because they should be protecting themselves, right? But give me your thoughts on this. We got two subjects on the table today on the flow. Let me know your thoughts on both. One, but yes, the basketball player's name is Anthony Edwards, who plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Again, I don't know how true this is, but they said there's a woman who is pregnant and she is currently, he cut her a check for the full amount he would have paid her over the next 18 years for this child, which will, I think they totaled it out to like $5,000 a month. It was over $1 million. He went ahead and cashed her out up front, and like, we're done. So you don't have to come back and ask me for anything. My question is, can she ever come back? Are any attorneys out there? Can she come back and renegotiate that? Because I know there are some women after a while they want more. The child gets old, they want more. Like, hey, we want to adjust to the cost of living or whatever. Could she come back? But somebody pointed out to me, I'm pretty sure when he gave her the money, there was something she had to sign. Maybe, I don't know. We of course we're guessing. I'm just reading from the information from what I've gotten off of social media. So that's one subject where we're talking about. The initial subject we're talking about is, I'm going to play the video clip. You give
Give
me
you
your
everything
thoughts.
you wanted.
I share
So could you share your man with somebody if he gave you everything you wanted?
I share these men for less because they gonna go cheat anyway.
They're gonna go cheat
So
anyway.
if I know for sure that he's going to give me everything I wanted, I will voluntarily share. Because we involuntarily share these men all the time. They cheat. My man probably cheating as we speak. I don't give a damn. I'm working.
Literally. Like what I'm gonna do? Stop it.
Yeah, we don't stop. I've been cheated on. You've been cheated on. You've been cheated on.
So could you share your man with
So, what's your position on that? What is your take on that? Hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Go ahead and drop that in the chat window. Would you be willing to share your man if you knew you was going to get everything you wanted, what you needed, financially? So maybe if you're willing to settle for that, then you wasn't in it for the right reasons anyway. You wasn't in a relationship for the right reasons anyway. So if that's your position, then yeah, I don't think you were in it for the right reasons anyway. So again, today's game is lyrically correct. The 90s 2000 hip hop version, that is what we will be playing today. Go ahead and put your thinking caps on. That's what we're doing today. And I'll read some of the questions from the card game in a minute, but I do want to get your thoughts. How do you feel? So I'm going to read from the second subject we were discussing, is the Anthony Edwards from the Minnesota Timberwolves, who has gotten a woman pregnant, who I'm assuming had already had the baby because she went down and filed child support. He decided to go ahead and pay her up front for the next 18 years, all in one lump sum, so he doesn't have to make any additional doesn't have to make any more payments after this. Let me see. Reads with comments. Jerry Frank said, I feel you, but I think he made it abundantly clear he's not doing anything. So he doesn't want to have anything to do with it. Sharice says, apparently he said he didn't want a baby and she had the baby anyway. It's up to her now to be responsible with the money. Okay. I'll repeat that. Apparently he said she didn't want he didn't want the baby and she had the baby anyway, and now it's up to her to be responsible with the money. Yeah, she probably gonna blow through that million. Malik said it's sad. See, my brother Marlon said, I think it may be fake news, and again, we don't know how true this is, but I do think it's true that he says he wants no part in the upbringing or responsibility, part just the financial. Interesting. Somebody else commented. Mickey said it is true. They were talking about it on sports radio yesterday. It's actually a request he made to the judges. They never said it was approved. So, so he said he don't want to have anything to do with the rearing of the child. Wow. Geneva says a payout like this means he wants nothing to do with you and the baby. And then Robin went on here to comment, say, yeah, he made that perfectly clear. Yeah, that's a little that's deep. And again, now we have a child that's being brought up, a father's child is gonna have some issues, because at the end of the day, a child needs both their parents, both the mother and father, and then to know that, because the child's gonna have questions of both the mom and the dad. If you knew my dad didn't want me, why did you have me? Then going with questions for the dad when she go to seek him out, or him. Why didn't you want me? Why didn't you want to be bothered with me? So the child's gonna have self-esteem issues for sure, and I think that's definitely gonna play itself out in the later years, in the later years as the child grows and starts forming their own character and identity. That's going to definitely play out. So yeah, it's just a bad cycle, that a bad precedent that's being set too, that this kind of thing is happening on a regular basis. Like, I'm sure this ain't the first time this something like this or something similar to this has happened. So it's just bad. It's just bad all the way around. All right, let's do a couple from the game. Um, and I'm gonna play the video one more time because I want to get your thoughts on both of these subject matters. Let me know.
So could you share your man with somebody if he gave you everything you wanted?
I share these men for less because they gonna go cheat anyway.
They're gonna go cheat
So
anyway.
if I know for sure that he's going to give me everything I wanted, I will voluntarily share. Because we involuntarily share these men all the time. They cheat. My man probably cheating as we speak. I don't give a damn. I'm working.
Literally. Literally. Like, what I'm gonna do? Stop it?
Yeah, we don't stop. I've been cheated on. You've been cheated on. You've been cheated on.
So could you share your man with somebody?
All right. Could you share your man with somebody if you knew you were gonna get everything that you want? If you knew you were gonna be financially well provided for and taken care of, would you be willingly? Would you? Are you willing to share your man willingly, knowingly, openly, and like be okay with it? But I do want, if anybody's out there can help me to understand what is the definition of a polyamorous relationship? Is that three people living together, one man, two women, or one woman, two men, like, and everybody's okay, or is it just like, I'm dating somebody, or I'm sleeping with somebody, I'm having intimacy with somebody else, and you're okay with it, and we just doing our thing, like, yeah, some help me understand this because I'm a little confused. All right, so let's read something from the game. According to Alicia Keys, some people live for fortune, fame, power, and what else? According to Alicia Keys, some people live for fortune, fame, power, and what else? According to Alicia Keys, some people live for fortune, fame, power, and what else? And just to play the game, here's the second one. According to the song Carlos Santana and the product G&B, where was Maria from? Maria, Maria. According to the song by Carlos Santana and the product G&B, where was Maria from? Remind me of a West Side Story. According to the song by Carlos Santana and the product G&B, where was Maria from? Spanish Harlem. Okay, this is a multiple choice question. With multiple choice answers. So let me just read the entire thing for you answer. What doesn't Missy want? What doesn't Missy want? A new dance routine. B, a gym membership. C, a broke guy with no job. D, a 1 minute man. What doesn't Missy want? A new dance routine. B, a gym membership plan. C, a broke guy with no job. Or D, a 1 minute man. What doesn't Missy want? D, a 1 minute man. All right, here's the next one. Why was Sunshine Anderson man tapping her shoulder? Why was Sunshine Anderson's man tapping her shoulder? I don't even know who Sunshine Anderson is. Why was Sunshine Anderson man's tapping her shoulder? Thinking he's gonna get some. All right, here's the next one. What does Nellie's friend have in the basement? 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 A pole. A poll. All right, so let's go ahead and play this video again. Give me your thoughts. Hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Drop that in the chat window. If you enjoy this game, also give me a thumbs up emoji, and I'm going to send you a code so that you can get a 10% discount off this game. Lyrically correct. It comes in a couple different versions. We have the 80s mixtape hip hop version, and then we have which is what we're playing today. This is the 90s 2000 hip hop and R&B. We got that. And then we also have the lyrically correct oldies but goodies. Oldies but goodies. Man, listen, I'm from Detroit and I've been here all my life and I've never went to Hitsville, Motown, USA. And I went today and I had an amazing time. Like it was so a lot of history there. Did not know that Berry Gordy's parents migrated up here from Georgia. They had the first black grocery store. It was on the east side, like the first black grocery store. I did not know that. Like, man, it was amazing. It was some amazing history. Some nuggets was definitely dropped on us today. Going into Hitsville, Motown, USA, it was great. Like just walking through those halls, and it's crazy because Berry Gordy bought all those houses. He bought several different houses on the same block, and some of them served different purposes. Someone was studio, someone was the finance place, someone was the what they call the it was a place where the artists went to kind of make sure they fine tune their dances and make sure they were dressed right and all that other stuff. But each house was specifically for one reason or another as related to the business, related to Motown. But it was just amazing just being in those same halls, walking those same halls and being in those same room where all those amazing Motown artists came from. Smokey Robinson, the Temptations, Stevie Wonder, Diana Ross, the Supremes, Marvin Gaye. Like, man, I was just like floored, like, man. And then even in one part of the studio where they were having the jam sessions, the floor was still warped from where they were stamping on the floor and just like dancing and grooving to the beats and shit. Like it was just crazy, man. So much memorabilia in there because Berry Gordy actually stayed in the studio. So the couch, he had two kids, the babies, playpen stuff was in there. It was just crazy. But anyway, that's enough. But if you're from Detroit or if you're not from Detroit and you come to Detroit to visit, definitely go check out Motown Hitsville, USA. It's a whole vibe. You're gonna get definitely a history lesson. I mean, all the famous Motown artists and how they got started and what it was like and what the process was. Absolutely, man. You're gonna get a history lesson. Well worth it. All right, so are you willing to share your man? Under what circumstances would you be willing to share your man? Let me play this video. I think these young ladies' sense of their approach to this is a little bit ass backwards, but you tell me, you give me your thoughts.
So could you share your man with somebody if he gave you everything you wanted?
I share these men for less because they gonna go cheat anyway.
They're gonna go cheat anyway.
So if I know for sure that he's going to give me everything I wanted, I will voluntarily share. Because we involuntarily share these men all the time. They cheat. My man probably cheating as we speak. I don't give a damn.
On stage with a bonnet on your head.
Literally. Like what I'm gonna do? Stop it?
Yeah, we don't stop. I've been cheated on. You've been cheated on. You've been cheated on.
So could you share your man with somebody?
You are running around with a bonnet on all day. Like, man, like that's just, oh man, I got a major problem. Sorry, that's a trigger for me. Them bonnets, walking around with them bonnets all the time. I ain't gonna even lie. That bonnet life ain't for me. But yeah, give me your thoughts. Would you be willing to share your man if you knew you were going to get everything you wanted financially? If you're going to be taken care of fully financially, would you be okay with sharing your man? Give me your thoughts. What do you think? Would you be okay with this? I just think you in a relationship. Truly, sorry about that, guys. Thirsty. But you're in a relationship for the wrong reasons. If you okay with that, from the jump, you're okay with that from the jump. If you're just tuning in, hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Go ahead and leave your comments below. Drop those in for me. Go ahead and leave those comments. So yeah, we do this show every Thursday around this time, sometime early, sometime later. I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent with school. Sometimes it throws me off a little bit, but I'm here. And I'll try to be as consistent as I can, leaving the making sure you guys are able to tune in and leave your comments. And the other subject that we're talking about today is Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, one of the other stories I heard is that if he said he didn't want the baby, the woman, he agreed to give the woman $100,000. She was supposed to take care of it. I guess have an abortion. She didn't. Then she went down and filed child support. So what he did was check and mate. He went on ahead and cashed her out. What he would have paid her over the next 18 years in child support in one check. Just gave her the money. So now she got to make that work for her. And they say one of the reports that I heard is that he told the judge that he didn't want to have any thing to do with the rearing of the child. That would just be up to her. He just wanted to pay what he owed, or pay, what he would have had to pay over the next 18 years. He did that, and that was that. But they said, at least one of the reports is that they don't know if the judge agreed to that. So we don't know. And again, my take on it personally is that I think he's going to come to regret not having a relationship with his child. And again, we don't know the sex of the child. We don't know if it's male, female. We don't know at this time. That none of the reports that I've read has indicated whether it's a boy or girl. Not that it really makes a difference right now, whether it's a boy or girl. But I just think at some point, once his career ends, this is going to come back to haunt him. In a major way, but he's young and he's probably not even thinking about that, but and then so one school of thought is this is what she wanted, it wasn't what he wanted. So if he's saying he doesn't want to have anything to do with it, should that be okay? Maybe technically it should be. If he went on ahead and took care of his financial obligation and he's saying I don't want to have anything to do with the rearing of the child, then I'm gonna leave that up to you. Leave me out of it. Here's the money. We're done. You don't have to talk about it anymore. I don't know. Like, I think on a moral level, it's wrong, but practically, if he paid, what else? What else can be done? Like, he gave up the money. He didn't hold it back. He's like, hey, here you go. I took care of my financial obligation. We're done. We don't have to talk about this anymore. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, do you think that is okay? Like I said, I definitely believe that the child was going at some point in time, whether it's a boy or a girl, is going to have some issues later on in life. And it's going to have questions for both mom and dad. And I think Anthony Edwards is going to come back to haunt, and it's going to come back to haunt him. And then the mother, like what is her mindset for even doing anything like this? Like, but I think it's going to come about where she's going to be at some point trying to get him to be a part of the child's life. I don't know. We'll know. What's up, Buck? Buck said, take care of your kid. Fuck all the bull. Right. Absolutely. He should definitely take care of his child. For sure. Like, that's just, we don't, especially as black men, like, we already have negative stereotypes surrounding us. But for you to, I'm not mad at him paying up front. Like, okay, hey, but then why not still have a relationship with your child? Like, I just think that's the wrong approach. And it just sets a bad, like I said earlier, it just sets a bad precedence. But what is your take on this here?
So could you share your man with somebody if he gave you everything you wanted?
I share these men for less because they're going to go cheat anyway.
They're going to go cheat anyway.
So if I know for sure that he's going to give me everything I wanted, I will voluntarily share. Because we involuntarily share these men all the time. They cheat. My man probably cheating as we speak. I don't give a damn. I'm working.
Literally. Like, what I'm going to do? Stop it?
Yeah, we don't stop. I've been cheated on. You've been cheated on. You've been cheated on.
Yeah, I don't know. With her sitting up there with that bonnet, yeah, you probably is getting cheated on. Sitting up there with that freaking bonnet on, I can't stand them things. All right, yeah. What are your thoughts on that, ladies, and even fellas? Tell me what you think. Would you be if you had it like that? Will you be all right with letting your, I mean, telling your, girl or whoever, like, yo, listen, this is what I'm doing. Either you with it or you ain't. I think if you're upfront and honest, like with that, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna look out for you. I'm gonna take care of you. There's some probably women will probably be like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't want that relationship anyway. They was probably looking for a financial they was looking for finance benefits anyway. So it's really I don't know. I think that if a woman's really able, if she was willing to settle for that, she probably has had an ulterior motive from the beginning. So, but the thing is, if you letting that be known up front, I don't, I guess on the flip side, you don't see nothing wrong with it. If you we know we got an arrangement, whatever, it's whatever at that point. All right, let's go ahead and do some more from the game. According to Young B, what should someone have on the side of their chicken noodle soup? Yeah, she need help, but for real, she need help, and with that freaking bonnet. According to Young B, what should someone have on the side of their chicken noodle soup? This used to be my jam. Chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup. According to Young B, what should someone have on the side of their chicken noodle soup? A soda on the side. All right. What did Joe want to know? That's an open relationship. Yeah, it is, Buck. I agree with you. That is an open relationship. What did Joe want to know? What did Joe want to know? What did Joe want to know? That is I have to totally agree with you, Buckavelli. That is a open relationship. What did Joe want to know? What turns you on? What turns you on? All right, here's the next one. How does Jay-Z reintroduce himself? How does Jay-Z reintroduce himself? How does Jay-Z reintroduce himself? Jigga, jigga, that good jigga. How does Jay-Z reintroduce himself? My name is Hove, H to the O-V. All right, old money. Nope. What did Escape need from you? What did Escape need from you? What did Escape need from you? Hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Go ahead and drop that in the chat window for me if you're just tuning in, making comments. Thank you everybody for showing up. Hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Drop that in the chat window for me. And I'm going to give you a code so that you can purchase this game, Lyrically Correct, which is the version that we're playing today is the 90s 2000 hip hop and R&B. And I want you to go ahead and drop that in the chat window for me to hashtag I am lyrically correct. Lyrically correct. Thank you, Buck Velli. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you for following the instructions. What did Escape need from you? Understanding. Understanding. Um, who was the girl Robbie? Who was the girl Robbie in the city high? In Robbie in City High took outside with him. I don't even know who this is. Who was the girl Robbie in City High took outside with him? Who was the girl Robbie in City High took outside with him? I don't even know who this is. Lonnie. All right, folks. So, the subject we're discussing today, we got two subjects on the flow. One is, are you willing to share your man? If you knew you were going to get everything you wanted financially, all your financial needs were going to be met, would you be willing to share your man? Let's play this clip.
You share your man with somebody. So could you share your man with somebody if he gave you everything you wanted?
I share these men for less because they gonna go cheat anyway.
They're gonna go cheat anyway.
So if I know for sure that he's going to give me everything I wanted, I will voluntarily share. Because we involuntarily share these men all the time. They cheat. My man probably cheating as we speak. I don't give a damn. I'm working.
literally. Like what I'm gonna do? Stop it?
Yeah, we don't stop. I've been cheated on. You've been cheated on. You've been cheated on.
So could you share your man with somebody?
Yeah, I just think I just think their sense of thinking is their rationale, their logic, and this is all wrong. I think they're definitely looking at this wrong. I think you can definitely, ladies, you don't have to settle, young queens, you don't have to settle. You can get you a decent man, who will do right by you, and you can pretty much get everything you want. You know, I read a post one day. I saw a video. I wish I can find it, where a guy said some women date outside their league. So they want these men to have all these things, but then they want a man who can would you say, Buck, you would cheat on her for real, for real? What did the guy say? Like they want these men that, you know, to be 6'2" and have this kind of money and drive this kind of car. But usually those men, at least according to him, they gonna do all the stuff that the ladies don't want. But then you can get you a man who may not be 6'2", and he can that's gonna treat you right, that's gonna love you the way you want to be loved. But you ain't looking at this guy. Like I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can find this video real quick while we're talking, everybody. Like he made some really good sense. Like you could have the kind of man that you're looking for, but but he has to meet all these certain criteria. But you ain't looking at these guys who possess the things of substance that you want. Yeah, it's let me see if I can find this video. I just thought I was like, you know what? The brother makes he makes a point. I'm gonna see while I'm looking. While we're talking to see if I can find the video. That's a gold digger. I ain't heard that term in a long time, but yeah, that is a gold digger, bruh, for sure. Let me see if I can find this video.
Stand up young men right now. And they only 12 and 11. You got boys. But they stand up right now. Boys, not men. No woman can raise a son into a man.
Yeah, that's gonna be mine. That's gonna be another one we're gonna look at.
Do women truly want men to leave? Or do they want to control how he leaves? Because most women want women out of men. Because that's what I just cut it off. A lot of women feel like in order to get that attention.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this one video where the brother kind of
So could you share your man with somebody? The five things.
So tell me, do you think that, so let's go back to the Anthony Edwards situation. Like if he told her up front that he didn't want a kid, is he wrong for that? And and she went on ahead, okay, regardless of what he wanted, this was what she wanted to do. She went on ahead and had the baby. Should he be responsible? Would it? I mean, maybe him. And again, I'm just being devil's advocate here. I'm not saying my personal take on it is I think it's a big mistake for him not to be a part of the child's life. However, if he stated up front that's not what he wanted, she only had a baby anyway, but he went on ahead and cashed her out because he got the money to do it. Cashed her out and said, I'm stepping away. Is he really wrong for that? Especially given the circumstance, that's her body. She did to do what she want to do with it. He don't have no say so, but he do have say so over what he does or does not do as far as how he contributes to the child. Legally, he is responsible, so he paid and he said, "That's it, I'm done." Is he wrong? Like, what's your thoughts? Let's see here. Who is this? Buck says, no, he not wrong, but if she wants to keep it, you should take care of the kids. Okay, well, yeah, what I'm saying, he met his financial obligation. He paid, but he's stepping back. He's saying, I don't want to have anything to do with the kid. At least according to some articles. I don't know how true this is or not, but he did pay. Financially, he took care of his business. He cashed her out in one lump sum. So what he would have had to pay over the next 18 to 21 years, he went on ahead and gave her this money up front. And my question is, should he still not have anything to do with the child on a financial level? I mean, not on a financial level, but on a human level. Like, that's his kid. That's his seed. I just personally feel like he's gonna come back. It's gonna come back to haunt him. He's gonna regret that, making that decision. But you know, Buck said that's cool, but he still needs to be in the kid's life. Yeah, I agree, and I think that's how we're coming at and approaching it. But is he wrong though? Is he wrong? He took now. So many times we heard a niggas like not even doing that part, like not even taking care of their kid, not paying or none of that other stuff. So he paid. I mean, but is he wrong? You know, like, okay, you saying no, he's not wrong. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, is he literally, if we just look at it for what it is he wrong? He took care of his financial responsibility, and he willingly told her, "I'm stepping. I don't want to be in the rearing of the child. I pay. I cover my financial obligation, but I'm done. That's it. You get nothing else from me." Like, how many men have the bandwidth to go ahead and cash a woman out under those circumstances? Like, oh, this is what you're gonna do here. Because you have so many times where a man like, I'm not giving you nothing because I told you not to have a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't commend them on that part. Like, because how many times have men have had the money and said, I'm not doing nothing because I told you not to have a baby. No, you know, we don't have that kind of bandwidth. So, because guess what? We're going to be down at the court fighting and cussing and arguing about what we got to pay. So yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. It really is. Like, from a moral standpoint, I think Anthony Edwards is wrong. I think that's his baby. I ain't mad at him for cutting the check up front. Like, I can't even say if I had that kind of money, bandwidth, here, I'm gonna pay you up front. We done, but I'm gonna still be in my child's life, but I'm not giving you another dime. Like, you get nothing else. Especially if I knew going in that this is not what I wanted, and I felt like now, like I said, one of the stories is that she said he knew she was pregnant. She asked him, she asked for $100,000. An abortion don't cost no $100,000, but he gave her the money. She played him with the $100K, then went and filed child support on him. See, now, woo-wee. I commend him for going ahead and cashing her out, but I would have took it a step further, just being the man I am. Not only cashed her out, but I'm like, yo, I'm gonna cash you out, but you won't get another dime from me. And I would have filed some type of custody or something to make sure I was able to see my kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, she would have never been able to. She would have had to sign something where she wouldn't have got another dime from me, for real. Especially after you paid me on $100,000. Matter of fact, I would have. Since I gave you the $100,000, I might have would have deducted that from the M ticket that I gave her. Now you less $100,000. I would have took some of that. I would have took 100 G's off of that 100,000. She would have got 900,000 minus the 1,000 the 100,000 that she paid me for the abortion, and then we even. We good. I mean, you're not getting nothing else. Yeah, I mean, you get nothing, Nathan. So I don't know what it's but again, like he got the bandwidth to do it. Like I mean, I can't say that I wouldn't have done something similar if I had the bandwidth. I don't think I would have being the man that I am now. Even then, like I took my daughter's mother to court for child support because I wanted to, because I knew it was gonna be a problem with me seeing my baby on and it was a problem with me seeing my kid, my daughter on a regular basis. So I took my daughter's mother to friend of the court, paid child support so that I could see her, so I, have my parental rights. I initiated that. So she didn't have to do that. Yeah. It's still wrong what she did. I'm not saying that it's not wrong for what the woman did to Anthony Edwards. Are you talking about was it wrong what my baby mama did to me? Yeah, it was wrong. I'm still hurt. I'm still pissed about it. No, I'm just playing. But no, what the woman did to Anthony Edwards, it is wrong for real. That definitely was wrong. She played him on that 100,000, but that just gets you go her mindset. Like, do she really care about this baby? Do she really care about this baby? I'm inclined to say no. This was just a financial. This is a meal ticket for her. Let me take a step back. I find it hard to believe a mother carry a child around for 9 months. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but carry a child around for 9 months, nurture it, feed it. This is a living being in her body. She doesn't have some type of love for this kid. I'm not saying there have been mothers who have carried kids around and just horrible mothers. I'm hoping and praying that she's not that type of woman. Maybe she wanted the money and the baby. That could have been possible. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know all the context, but it's sad because again, the child who is innocent is going to end up paying for this in the long run. What you say? Yep, she chasing the bank now for sure. Absolutely, for real. All right, so let's go ahead and do some more from the game. What does Trina got that's big like the sun? What does Trina got that's big like the sun? What does Trina got that's big like the sun? Ah, right, Buck. Oh, yep. What does Rick Ross do every day? Oh, this was my jam. What does Rick Ross do every day? What does Rick Ross do every day? Every day I'm hustling. That's right, hustle. What did the big timers wear with their gator boots? Gator boots. What did the big timers wear with their gator boots? What did the big timers wear with their gator boots? What did the big timers wear with their gator boots? Gator boots and the pimped out suits. And the pimped out Gucci suits. According to Sporty Thieves, what kind of girls is fronting like she can't say hi? According to Sporty Thieves, what kind of girls is fronting like she can't say hi? According to Sporty Thieves, what kind of girl is fronting like she can't say hi? A pigeon. I don't even know who this is. All right. Multiple choice answer here. Here's the question. What size drawers does Maya wear? What size drawers does Maya wear? A, size small, B, size 2, C, size 0, or D, size 4? What size drawers does Maya wear? A, size small, B, size 2, C, size 0, or D, size 4? I'm assuming this was a song because I don't. Dang, Buck. Okay, Buckavelli. You must know this song. Yep, it is a size 4. Size 4 is the answer. All right. Let's go ahead and play the video again for everybody who just tuning in. Hashtag I'm outside. Let's already go ahead and drop that in the chat window for your boy.
So could you share your man with somebody if he gave you everything you wanted?
I share these men for less because they gonna go cheat anyway.
They're gonna go cheat anyway.
So if I know for sure that he's going to give me everything I wanted, I will voluntarily share. Because we involuntarily share these men all the time. They cheat. My man probably cheating as we speak. I don't give a damn. I'm working.
literally. Like what I'm gonna do? Stop it?
Yeah, we don't stop. I've been cheated on. You've been cheated on. You've been cheated on.
So could you share your man with somebody?
All right. So, ladies, gentlemen, well, ladies, I guess really this question is for you. Would you be willing to share your man? Under what circumstances would you be willing to share your man? Are you okay with sharing your man if you knew you were gonna gain financially? Like if you knew all your financial needs were going to be met, you would never have to want for nothing. Would you be okay with sharing your man? Buck say, take that damn bonnet off. I know that's what I said, Buck. She need to take that bonnet off her head. Of course, she probably is getting cheated on. Damn bonnet on her head. Like, bro, that gets under my skin so bad. Yeah, so I agree. Yeah, take that freaking bonnet off your head. All right, so guys, I just posted in the chat window. If you are interested in this game, let's argue. If you want it for yourself to play at home with your family and friends, go ahead, click on that link, put that code in. It's going to give you a 10% discount. And then I want you to put in the chat window for me, hashtag I am lyrically correct or just lyrically correct. You can put lyrically correct 90s version, lyrically correct 80, lyrically correct 2000, whichever one you like if you haven't already gotten this game. But hey, go ahead and pop that into the chat window for me. Let's see. Buck says that's why they cheat on her on there. It's because she's wearing that bonnet. I know. Like she need to take that freaking thing off. All right, let's do a couple more from the game. Actually, I want to read some more comments from the Anthony Edwards story. Let me see what we got here. All right. I'm trying to see if we got some more comments. Robin says, I feel bad for the kid. I hope he has a change of heart and interacts with his child. Yeah, that's I totally agree with Robin. Yeah, like I just think I hope at some point he does have a change of heart and wants to have a relationship with his kid. Like I just think, and here we are, another fatherless child. They didn't ask for any of this one way or the other, you know. It's a bad situation. It really is. It's a bad situation. I don't know. But, yeah, it's messed up. Yeah, it's messed up. So I don't know. Like it is. It's messed up. Let's see. What will we be talking about next week? Do men and women view loyalty differently? So that will be next week on Let's Argue. Do men and women view loyalty differently? Do men and women view loyalty differently? So that's what we'll be talking about next week on Let's Argue. So don't forget to tune into that. If you haven't already, all right, Buck, you say yes. What is your take on do men and women? We could talk about that in the last, how many more minutes we got left here on the show? We have about 6 minutes left. Why do men and women view loyalty different? We can actually go ahead and get that conversation started now. Why do you think men and women view loyalty differently? And let me ask this question because this is going to be maybe we'll merge these two topics together as well. As a man, I'm asking this to all the men on the show. Do you prefer love or respect? Ladies, do you prefer security or safety over love? All right, so here's the question for next week's topic. Do men and women view loyalty differently? Second, men, would you rather your woman love you or respect you? Ladies, would you rather your man make you feel secure or would you rather feel loved? Is there a difference? Either way, give me your thoughts. What are your thoughts? I have to agree with you, Buck. I think that definitely want her to respect me. I think, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying love is not as important, but if you don't respect me, we're going to have, I think the problems that's going to stem from that is going to be so astronomical. We won't even be able to count them, like for real. Like, yeah, I think that if you don't respect me, don't show me respect, we're going to have so many problems. So many problems. We're going to have so many. And I don't think a woman can necessarily love a man she don't respect. Like, can a woman love a man she don't respect? Ladies, give me your thoughts. Can a woman love a man she doesn't respect? Do you have to respect him in order to love him? These are all questions that should be answered on next week's topic of Let's Argue. Hit the door. Buck, you a fool. Yeah, so these are questions that we're going to talk about on next week's topic of Let's Argue. Can you, ladies, can you respect a man? Can you love a man you don't respect? Or can you love a man you don't respect? What's up, Kelly? Kelly B in the building. Hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Go ahead and drop that. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Go ahead and drop that in the chat window for me. So today's topic, we got a couple different things going on today. The subject that you just chimed in on will be for next week's, but we can get that conversation started now. Let's go ahead and get you caught up. Hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Lyrically correct. Drop that in the window. Hashtag lyrically correct, or I am lyrically correct. Give me your thoughts on
So
this
could
subject.
you share your man with somebody if he gave you everything you wanted?
I share these men for less because they're going to go cheat anyway.
They're gonna go cheat anyway.
So if I know for sure that he's going to give me everything I wanted, I will voluntarily share. Because we involuntarily share these men all the time. They cheat. My man probably cheating as we speak. I don't give a damn. I'm working.
Take that bonnet off.
Literally. Like what I'm gonna do? Stop it?
Yeah, we don't stop. I've been cheated on. You've been cheated on. You've been cheated on.
So could you share your man with somebody?
Man, if she don't take that bonnet off, I'm telling you. All right, guys, if you're interested in purchasing this game, Lyrically Correct, I've put the link in there, and I'm going to give you the code too, so that you can get that 10% discount when you go. And don't forget to use it. Like, let's see. Kelly says, nope, I didn't learn how to share. In kindergarten, you silly. I think those young queens are just have a warped sense of values, how they're looking at things. So yeah. The ladies, young queens, if y'all can hear me, if somebody passes, hopefully y'all get this message. You can have somebody who treats you the way you need to be treated, and you can still get all the things you want, or most of the things you want, especially if you guys are working as a team. Like you don't have to settle. You definitely don't have to settle. But again, I think I mentioned earlier there was a guy, and I'm gonna hopefully I can find this video the next time we get on. Like he basically said women are sometimes they date outside their league. That they want a man who he's 6'2" and makes this kind of money and drives this kind of car. But yet, and then this kind of man probably is a high value man. I think that's what they call him, a high value man. These new terms is killing me, but he's a high value man. I think every man should think they are high value. But anyway, let's just talk about this. He think he's a high value man. So those high value men have access to high value women. So they're probably going to cheat. But you can get you a man who doesn't have or what's considered a high value man, but you're not going to choose him. And mind you, this guy that's not considered high value is going to love you, going to care for you, going to nurture you, going to pour into you, going to give you all the things you want, but you want this high value man. So you want the heartache and the BS that comes along with it. Let's see. Kelly says she has a point. Some cheat anyway, and since you are sharing, but it's about choosing the right one so you don't have to share. Absolutely agree. That is, I would definitely have to agree with you, my friend. At some point you might have some that may cheat anyway, and you are to some degree sharing. I was having a conversation with a young man today in the gym, and we were talking about this. He's in a polyamorous relationship. And before we go, I want y'all to help clear up something for me. What is a polyamorous relationship? How is that different than being in what you call what they call it? A swinging relationship. What's the difference between, being in a swinging relationship and a polyamorous relationship? Help me understand. Like, I don't know the difference. Like, yeah, tell me, because I don't want to guess. What's the difference between a polyamorous relationship and people who swing? What's the difference? And they all involve threesomes, I'm assuming, right? So what's the difference? Help me to understand. Are the rules different? Like, help me out before we end the show today. I want to know. Like, what's the difference between a polyamorous relationship and a relationship where a swinging relationship where y'all do other couples? So what's the difference? Let's see. Buck says, to me, there is no difference. They're the same. Kelly said, I think swingers get together here and there and they play, and the play are actually they're actually in relationships. Okay. So swingers are in a committed relationship, but so every now and then they bring in other couples. Or do they bring in other couples, or they just bring in a third person? Like, or it could be both? And why you know so much about this? That's what I wanted. That's the next question. No. But seriously though, so in a swingers relationship, you're couples or person. Okay. Hey, what up, Mo? All right, yeah. So the question is, what is the difference between but this isn't the topic today, but the question is, I just posed, I want to know, what is a polyamorous relationship and how is that different than being in a swinging relationship? Swingers are couples. Okay, swingers are couples. So these are people who are committed, either in long-term relationships or married. Say, I'm Jay about to start some mess. Jay about to come on here and start some mess. So swingers are people who are in long-term or committed relationships where they either bring in other couples or a person. And what is a polyamorous relationship? You can give me the Google definition. I'm just trying to understand what's the difference. What about the polyamorous relationship? Poly is like marriage. Now, I know what polygamy is. I'm assuming that polygamy means you're married to more than one person. Yeah, boy, what do you know about? All right, Jay. Hey, I ain't trying to get no mess started with the Matthews now. They're all in the relationship together. Now understand polygamy. Polygamy means you're married and you have several different wives. I get that. I know, bro. I'm just talking mess. Yes, poly mean you have two wives. But like I said, I was talking to a young man today in the gym, and he was saying he's in a polyamorous relationship where he has two women. They both know about one another, but they don't live together. So he has two women. They don't know about it. They know about one another, but they don't live together. They don't live in the same house. They all have their own relationship. And he's had one relationship with one girl. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Dr. Umar practices polyamorous relationships as well. I think he talked about that. He's pretty open about that as well. Or two husbands, if that's her thing. So poly can have a primary partner, but they have another partner as well. They all know about each other. Okay, so that's the polyamorous relationship. So polyamorous relationship is where you have two partners and everybody knows about one another. Okay, now that makes a little bit more sense to me. That's different than a swingers relationship where you are in a committed relationship with one person, but every now and then you invite another person or persons into your bedroom. Oh, okay. Poly is bringing everything, the families and everything. Okay, so if the wives or the husbands have kids, you bringing everybody together under the same roof. Gotcha. Okay, all right. I was just trying to understand. Like I said, I met a guy today. We were kind of kicking it. He was asking me, why did I get married and so on and so forth. So I was talking about it. And then he told me that he's in a, that's when he kind of, divulged to me that he was in a polyamorous relationship and stuff. And I was trying to, kind of understand where he was coming from and why he, his explanation to me as to why he was in that relationship was because he felt like being in this relationship, he gets the best of both worlds. Meaning, he said, for him, it's not so much about the sex. It's about woman A over here can cook. Woman B over here likes the arts. So woman A doesn't like arts. So because he likes arts and he likes to cook, he doesn't have to get woman A to get and try to get her involved into cooking or into arts. She just cooks and that's her thing. So he enjoys that. So he gets how did he put it? I get the best version of her at her highest. So this is how he's playing. Now this is a young man too, young king. He's in his 30s. We sung me and my ex. That's another couple. Okay. Also, y'all did the swinger thing before, Mo? Okay. Kelly say BS. It's the set. You don't believe him, Kelly? Mo said it's also about business. Everybody help. Okay. Yeah, I can see because I think I watched something on television one time where they talked about in a polygamous relationship where everybody they're pulling their resources. You know what I'm saying? But I also see where there was a little bit of jealousy if the husband is spending time with maybe one wife more than he is with the others. So yeah, I can see. I don't see men but I'm not. Matter of fact, I don't see men doing this. But I know there are cases where there are men who have done this because I want to say there was something on TV recently I saw where there was a woman, she had two men, and they both knew about one another. I see them and I was like, huh? But yeah, so she got two husbands or two guys that everybody know about one another and they share her. I was like, yeah, okay, not for me. Yeah, that's not that definitely wouldn't be for me for sure. That's crazy though. So next week's topic. Here's the question I'm posing to everybody. Next week topic is going to be, and I got a couple questions we put on the floor. Let's see here. Here's the. All right. Do men and women view loyalty differently? Do men and women view loyalty differently? So that's what we're going to talk about next week. And I want to know, do you prefer women? This question is to women. First question is for both parties, men and women. Do men and women view loyalty differently? Second, the next question is for women. Do you prefer love or security? Men, do you prefer love or respect? My question is, can you have one without the other? And we're going to end it right there. I'll see all y'all next week. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. If you're interested in the game Lyrically Correct, I have left the link in the chat window for you to go ahead and click on that link. There's a code for you to go ahead and purchase the game. Please do so. That is my gift to you. Go ahead and purchase that game. It's a fun game. You have it. You can play it with your significant other. You can play it when friends come over. It's a great game. Icebreaker. It's fun. They got a couple different versions of the game. I suggest going to the website and purchasing the game. Go ahead and do that. I was been itching to get you guys this code. I finally got it. Go ahead and click on that link. Drop that code in there and go ahead and purchase that game. With that, I'm going to end it right here. I'll see y'all next week. Don't forget those questions. Go ahead and y'all can keep the conversation going even after I've done this. Go ahead and answer some of those questions that we talked about that I mentioned that we're going to talk about next week. I am out of here. Deuces.